everyone, happy Fun Friday. I have an ostrich with me today and a mermaid. And I want to read our book of the week and do a strategy with it. And then I want to read a Jan Thomas book for our author study. So first, before I read our book of the week, A Sick Day by Amos McGee, I want to review the 2 tricky words. First tricky word was amble. And amble was to walk or move at a slow, relaxed pace. And our second word was concern, to be anxious or worried. I'm going to read the book. I'm going to actually turn off my ostrich for a second. Okay, I'm going to put him down to sleep. A Sick Day for Amos McGee, written by Philip, he's the author, and illustrated by Erin, his wife. Oh, I am so sorry. Before I start, I forgot to tell you what strategy. Today we're going to think about connecting. And when we connect with a book, we think about what happened in our life, our experiences, and about what we know, and then we make connections. So after we read, I'm going to ask you a question to make a connection with this Sick Day with Amos McGee, for Amos McGee. A Sick Day for Amos McGee by Philip, illustrated by Erin. Amos McGee was an early riser. Every morning the alarm clock banged. He swung his legs out of bed and swapped his pajamas for a fresh pressed uniform. He would wind his watch and set a pot of water to boil, saying to the sugar bowl, "A spoonful for my oatmeal, please, and 2 for my teacup." Belly full and ready for the workday, he'd amble out the door. Every day, Amos waited for the number 5 bus. "Next stop, City Zoo," the bus driver would call. 6 a.m., right on time, he'd reply. Amos had a lot to do at the zoo, but he always made time to visit his good friends. City Zoo. He would play chess with the elephant, who thought and thought before making a move, run races with the tortoise, who never ever lost, and quietly sit with the penguin, who was very shy. Lend a handkerchief to the rhinoceros, who always had a runny nose. And at sunset, read stories to the owl, who was afraid of the dark. One day, Amos woke up with the sniffles and the sneezes and the chills. He swung his lakey eggs out of bed, curled them back again, and said, "Ugh, I don't think I'll be going to work today." Meanwhile, at the zoo, the animals waited for their friend. The elephant arranged his pawns and polished his castles. The tortoise stretched his legs and limbered up. The penguin sat patiently all by himself. The rhinoceros worried that his allergies were worsening. The owl perched atop a tall stack of storybooks, scratching his head with concern. Where is Amos? The animals wondered. City Zoo. Later that day, ... Hooray! My good friends are here! The elephant prepared a game of chess. Amos thought and thought before making a move. "I'm too tired to run races today," said Amos to the tortoise. "Let's play hide and seek instead." The tortoise hid inside his shell. Amos hid beneath the covers. Amos yawned. "I could use a nap." The penguin sat quietly, keeping Amos's feet warm. Achoo! Amos awoke with a sneeze. The rhinoceros was ready with a handkerchief. "I'm beginning to feel much better, thank you," said Amos to his friends. He swung his legs out of bed. "Perhaps we'll share a pot of tea." Amos wound his alarm clock. "It's getting late," he said. "After all, we have a morning bus to catch." So Amos said goodnight to the elephant, and goodnight to the tortoise, and goodnight to the penguin, and goodnight to the rhinoceros, and goodnight to the owl, who, knowing that Amos was afraid of the dark, read a story aloud before turning out the light. The end. So I said we're gonna make connections today. So if your mom or dad or grandma or babysitter printed this sheet, you can use this. But if you don't have this sheet, please just use your own paper. And our directions say, Amos McGee is an early riser. Do you know what an early riser is? It's somebody who likes to get up early in the morning, like 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. Are you at home? This is where your connection. Are you an early riser or do you like to sleep in? Murphy, camera lady, are you an early riser or do you like to sleep in?
I like to sleep in.
I like to sleep in too. Mermaid, are you an early riser or do you like to sleep in?
I like to sleep in sometimes.
Sometimes you're an early riser, sometimes you like to sleep in. I agree. So you can pause right now and go do your connections because I have one more thing to do. I want to read a Jan Thomas book really fast. So please pause and come back after you do your connections. Welcome back. I'm going to read today The Doghouse by our author of the month. Does anybody remember her name? What is it?
Jan Thomas.
Jan Thomas. Woo! All right, The Doghouse. Kick The Doghouse by Jan Thomas. And we know Jan did both jobs in this book. Oh no! The ball went into the doghouse. Who will get it out? Crack. Cow will. Cow is big. Cow is brave. Moo? So cow goes into the doghouse. But cow does not come out. Now cow and the ball are in the doghouse. Who will get them out? Pig will. Pig is smart. Pig is stinky. Stinky? So pig goes into the doghouse. I am not stinky. But pig does not come out. Quack, quack. Now pig and cow and the ball are in the doghouse. Who will get them out? Quack, quack, quack. Duck will. Duck is noisy. Quack, 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 quack. So duck goes into the doghouse. Quack, quack, quack. But duck does not come out. Can you come out, duck? No, because I'm having duck for dinner. Duck for dinner! Too bad mouse couldn't come too. More turnips. More turnips, duck? Glad you could come join us for cake, mouse. Cake? And that is the end. I'm going to turn back on my ostrich to say goodbye. Have a great weekend. I miss you. Have a fabulous, fun Friday. See you next week. I love you. Bye.